Hey there guys, and welcome to another Factorio Mod Spotlight. I'm Xterminator, and thank you for joining me. Today we are going over the food industry mod. This one adds a ton of different foods, ways to get it, different things you can do with it, and it seems very popular so far. It's very new, but it already has a ton of downloads. It's really cool, I think, and I may actually use it in a future playthrough, but let's get into it here. So first off, this actually adds energy and hunger. So you can see up here we have energy, usage, fullness. So standing still, my usage is 52.63%. If I'm moving, it goes up. And also, like the heavier armor you wear, the more it goes up. So if we put on like a power armor, it's going to go up to 184. If we put in like a fusion reactor or something, it's going to go up even more because it also scales with how many slots you have filled in your armor. So that's obviously going to drain it fairly significantly. Okay, so then you need to eat food to actually replenish it. And there's tons of different food. The kind of best thing here is some of these. So restores 50 energy, fills you up by 60%, heals 200 HP for these vegan capsules or food capsules. And then there's vegan capsules as well. There's all different kinds of actual food. There's tofu burger, there's pizza with tofu, biter schnitzel. So you can make stuff from biter flesh, which is pretty interesting. This restores 76 energy, fills you up by 90%, and heals for 70 HP. So you just take this and then left click and eat it, and there you go. Fills up my fullness and energy as well, and then restores HP. So all this different stuff you can make. You can cook all these things. Obviously, you will need some furnaces and stuff. We have food burner, a burn cooker, and electric cooker. Okay, but let's start from the beginning here. So there's basic farmland. Okay, and this is going to grow you your basic stuff. Now you can collect some stuff, like here's a wild tomato. So I just collected that. And then here's some wild lettuce. So you would have to pick these first because these are going to require actual things like the lettuce or tomatoes or whatever you want to grow. So we have some lettuce here. That only gave me one, but I spawned some in. So for this here, these basic farmlands, which you can find right here, just require wood and an axe. And these guys, you just throw in your lettuce or whatever you're growing. I actually need a little more. There we go. And he's going to go. It's going to be very slow. You can see here it's quite slow. It's a crafting speed of 0.6, and it takes 300 seconds here. This one. Okay, so it's going to take a while here. But then you also have a greenhouse and a big greenhouse. These are going to require water, but they're going to grow quicker. So this one is almost done. I've put lettuce in. It still takes 10 lettuce, but it's going to take water. And that is this recipe here. Lettuce growing with water, okay? Now, interestingly, if you look here, this is actually going to give us different yields. The lettuce growing gives 7.5 lettuce, 20 straw, and 1.5 plant fiber, or plant mesh, sorry. And then like this one's going to give us 9 lettuce, which is obviously more. So you get more back, and then it's going to give you more of everything really. So except straw, gives you less straw because you're not using like farmland, but it does give you a little more plant mesh. And then there's lettuce growing with compost, so you would need to put in compost water. And then there's lettuce growing with fertilizer, where you put in fertilizer solution. Okay, so how do we get all this stuff? Well, we're going to lettuce, and this is going to give us 3 different products. This is going to give us the lettuce, obviously, the straw, dry plant mesh, and then the plant mesh. Plant mesh you can use in a composter. Okay, now these composters allow you to put stuff in here and then use it basically as fuel. So that will allow you to pretty much just use this as fuel in here. And compost stuff. Okay, now compost obviously is going to be plant mesh. So soil full of minerals and nutrients made from plants for plants. Okay, and then you can get more compost, and this is actually going to require landfill. So you get you take one landfill and put in, and you get 100 compost. You can get spice crystal, which is stone and water, steam crystallization. There's all kind of stuff. I'm not going to go through every single thing. This is a spotlight, not really a tutorial on the mod. So this thing, we do plant mesh, and I had this working at one point. These recipes get a little bit lost in my head here. So you put in the plant mesh as fuel, and then I think you should be able to just get stuff out of here. You also have an electric composter as well. So that it's pretty easy to figure out. There's just so much stuff to go over here. I don't want to cover every single thing. So this guy is full, so we have to take this out before we can start, and then we need to put lettuce back in, right? So we do that, and I'll start again. Here's a plant incubator, okay, which is gonna allow us to do even more stuff. And then another cool thing is biter flesh. You can actually make biter flesh, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so if we actually, it's a little easier to show you guys if we turn off cheat mode. So all these things read out are like the recipes themselves, not actual things we can, not actual things we can like use necessarily, if that makes sense. So like, straw briquettes, is something we would make, but we need straw, but it's going to actually be needed in the machine there, assemblers. This thing, this is going to take fish, which doesn't really make sense because it's biter flesh, but it is what it is. And you can just see here, when you don't have cheat mode on, which you wouldn't in a normal game, this will like show you what all this stuff is made in down there. So it should be pretty straightforward, like how this works. It's a little confusing for me when I have cheat mode on, but you can see here, there's all kind of stuff. There's these seeds, and this actually allows you to do a different oil recipe a little bit down the line too. You can make lubricant from steam and canola oil, and then canola oil, I believe, you make from that seed. Let's go ahead and see here. Yeah, so the canola oil you make from steam in those seeds. Okay, so there's just so much stuff you can play with. You can set up tons of farms and greenhouses and all that stuff. It's pretty awesome. There's just so much to do. If you want to make like a food production factory or something, this is definitely a mod for you to check out. I'm just kind of showing you all this stuff, so like compost would be made in this, in like one of these composters. This actually bigger one here. It's an electric composter. So, you could get like straw briquettes and then compost water and get compost. And then the compost water you obviously get just from mixing compost and water in a chemical plant or one of these other dudes here, that an electric cooker, I think that was. Find it here. I don't even know where it went. I lost it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think that's what this is, electric cooker. Okay, so there's all different kind of stuff you can do, guys. Check it out for yourself if you're interested. Like I said, too much to go over here, but really, really cool. If you're interested in doing food stuff in Factorio, I highly recommend it. I think it's still going to continue to be developed, which is fantastic. And like I said, I think I may use it in one of my future playthroughs as well. It definitely adds an interesting twist. So that's going to do it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Link below to the mod as always. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.